number. You know, that's a really nice way as you start considering, oh yay, this is commutative property, right, at its ultimate. So
Yeah.
we've got the 109, okay? So they've got their 109, 109, 109, 109.
Yeah.
Not this one. This one's got the 23, then the 109, and then the 51. So this one probably would have been the one that I started with in my discourse as my number one, just because it mimics the story, and I now have an opportunity to consider the commutative property right off the bat. Does that make sense?
It's interesting they wrote peanut butter. 183 peanut butter when there's 23 peanut butter cookies, 109 chocolate chip, and 51 oatmeal. And they wrote 183 peanut butter. And they might have just lost track of what the numbers were, but it's just interesting. It's the only one that I
Many
saw
of
do
them
that.
struggle with the units, right? In fact, the kids today, I said, oh, so are these boy, girls? One kid goes, no, they're kids. But the others didn't really come to know if you've got boys and girls, then collectively together they're children or kids, right?
Yeah.
So collectively together, what are they? They're cookies, right? So hopefully we've got that here, you've got that here. No units on, well, cookies there, but a couple of them not dealing with units, which, you know, isn't the end of the world, but just something to notice, right? Okay, so do you also have hundreds as units?
Yes, some.
Okay, so you've got hundreds as units.
These were, I'll tell you how I split this one, these up.
Mhm.
So these
And we'll
separated
come
them.
back to those.
They separated the
Mhm.
23,
Mhm.
109, 51,
Mhm.
which is weird because I didn't teach them that. They just for some reason.
Felt a need to show the components.
This one
Are
actually.
you drawing pluses in your representations?
Yeah.
No, get rid of them.
Okay.
Most pluses shouldn't be there.
Okay.
Symbols belong in symbols belong in number sentences. And pictures literally should just collectively grow, either whether they're going to separate them out by chunks or just, I mean, you can kind of see them here, right? However they organize them, they really are trying to collect them so they're almost a mass.
So
Yeah.
because we do the pluses for math workshop, because that's one of the way that they're showing us their action.
Well, you do it in the number sentence.
Oh,
for
yeah.
So they don't
Just
should.
not in the
Just not in the
representation.
picture.
Okay.
No.
I
So
mean,
you
what
never
does
put
what does that thing up there in the picture mean?
Yeah, so
In a picture, it really
show
has no
action
meaning, right?
with, when there's like this shows action because they counted all of it together.
Yeah.
Like if it was subtraction, they would cross out, but like the
Okay.
action is just implied by the
And the
way that
cross
they
out
move.
is exactly what you would do in a picture, not put a minus sign. Does
Right.
that make
Yeah, when we
sense?
subtract, we cross it out.
Mhm.
That's why I was
Well,
wondering.
here, this is just, you'll see it by the children
just see
counting
how it goes.
across all of
Yeah, they
them.
counted all of them together.
Because they
Okay.
think that plus means is intentional, that it has some meaning. But if you don't count across it, there's no meaning,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Cool. That's something very important because I
Well,
have been doing it. So I want.
Yeah, if you read Tom Carpenter's, he's a really, Marvin thinks a little too fixated. I kind of agree with him. You know, I think we keep our symbols in number sentences, and we
Mhm.
keep our base 10 materials as what happens on a table. When they literally push them all together or move them or whatever, use your circles. Use your defining things like arrows and circle a group of things. It's kind of like what they tell you and describe on their when they have cubes out, but they never put there's no plus symbol to stick in between there to mean anything. Does that make
Cool.
sense?
Yes, it does. Okay.
It's just how I then take what's out here and make sense of it by counting.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I ask another question?
Mhm.
So also, should they be telling me what it is? Like here, there's 2 10s, 3 1s, 100, 9 1s, 5 10s, 1 1. No.
No, don't care.
Okay.
I mean, you need to know how they count, and they're either gonna count by
Yeah.
tens or whatever is going to happen, right? So that they would say, let's see what we know here. We know 100 trying to think, I'm trying to see how they got to it.
Well, that's him over here.
Well, here's the 110. Okay, so 100, 110. Oh, this is his third, his 20. So 110, 20. See, I don't
He
see
has
the
it.
30 yet. Do you see the 130?
He's got too many here too, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
Should be 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160.
70, 171, 172, 173, 174, 175,
Yeah,
176, 177, 178, 182, 183.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all there. He just didn't. He stopped. He was counting.
And he missed one.
He
there.
missed the
missed the
30,
30.
and he knew he got up to, here's where they've had it on the, they may have had out the materials, knew they got up to 170, didn't realize that in their representation, they have not got 130, because they probably had this one as 130, and then have erased it. But anyway, you can at least start looking at these papers with their intent, even if they are incomplete. Does that make sense? So we've got 100, and then he goes to his 50, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? Oh, we do not see how he counts all together. We know how he counts them the first time, but not how he counted them all together. This is a really typical one of children show exactly how they make it and not how they put it together. But you know they did.
Can you show us how it would look? How you would do this using drawing based 10?
Sure, I can do that. I can do that. Let me.
I just want to see how you.
Are you
label
giving
it
these
and-
kids, these things back to kids, or are these for your own purposes?
These
Are.
were for me.
Pardon interruption.
So,
Please remove all vehicles from the bus lane at this time. Please remove all vehicles from the bus lane at this time. Thank you.
What I'd like to do, and I think I'll even do it in pen if you were okay with that. I want to extend, oh, I can't do it in pen, I left that with my,
Do you need a pen?
I just thought it might be a little different, so that you can see what he had, or whoever it was had, and then where it went to, right? I think that'll be more helpful. They've got 109, okay, which literally is 109. So if you were doing a representation, somehow you would loop your 109 to make 109. They've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, but I bet they literally said 5 tens. But we're gonna take what they've got, 50 and 1 is 51, okay? Then they have 20, 10, 20, and 3 is 23. So I'm okay here with these, but if you were representing, I would want you to literally show these so that they see where those components are. Does that make sense?
Yes, but not labeling 100, 101, 102, 103, 104.
Some of them
Not
do.
unless they said that.
Yeah, if they did that, that's where they would be. But on the back, this is a build of 3 rather than a build of 2, and we would hope all kids could at least build at a level 3 on the
This is
back of your
where
framework.
We've talked about, I should have printed that out, I didn't think about
That's
it.
okay.
But, we've talked about how if they count, then you represent the count. So if they said 10, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Then you
we
would write it.
that. If they said 20 and 3,
1, 2, 3. That's the
23,
direct
then
place
that's how
value.
you write.
And it's brilliant because most of your children should be using a direct place value right now, not a count on. But if they do, that's what you're putting, right? Okay, so then I would expect, so this is really brilliant up to a point, but what has happened is they have not shown you how they counted. So you would want to see 100, okay? They may even say 50 or 5 tens or something. Listen for what they say. But given he's doing this, or she, who is this? A boy? They may say 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170. Okay, now, if you've got kids with good direct place value, they're gonna go 170, and the 9 gives me 179. Then they may say, and 1 more gets me to 180, and the 3 more gets me to 183. They may be counting these by ones, but if we've got a direct place value, we'll get it right to 179, 80, if they're intentional about making it a decade, and then 183. And then I'll circle this so I know where their answer is in their picture, right? Just so I can see Okay, there, that one's circled. Now they're circling everything else, but at least I know that they got up to 183. Does that make sense? Okay, so that would be a complete representation, which the one before is incomplete. It shows how it's built, but not how it's counted. But it was not, I'm perfectly okay with how they showed it was built. They've got their
Yeah.
100 and showing 9, I'm
It's
good with that.
apparent
They
where
don't
the
have
109 is.
exactly, great word. Okay, so you've got, now this one's got 100.
She put all of her ones in this middle.
Here they are, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and there's all their ones. This is a complete representation,
This
I'm
one
okay
is,
with that.
is similar to the one you did, except
Yep.
she didn't use direct place value with her one.
And I'm okay with that, they can count other ones.
Yeah.
Right, so these two are pretty complete. I know you probably don't like this one as well, but it really does, they've shown where their hundreds, tens, and ones are, I'm okay with that, and they've shown how they got up to there, so I'm okay with those.
Can I see that one? This one? Yeah, I just wanna see.
Look at her lines where
She
she
put
counted
her-
on her tens.
She put her ones all in the middle. You see?
Yeah.
Now, we do not know if she built this and then moved them.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I'm okay
2,
with that.
4, 6, then you have your
7, 8, 9.
9.
So that's the 9,
and then
your 1
1,
and your
and the
3.
3. Mm-hmm. Pretty nice, huh?
yeah, she just put it as like she just grouped them.
Well, but here's the groups too. She's got her 109.
Mm-hmm.
She's got her 50 and 3 and her 20, no, 50
And 1. That's why it's closer to
1
Oh.
and 20 and 3.
Oh, I looked at it. This 51,
Yeah.
23.
Yeah.
Either way, and could be that way too, right? That's maybe that was the intent. But I think she was from the very get-go wanting to separate these out into hundreds, tens, and ones,
Mm-hmm.
so that she can more easily than trying to navigate her picture.
Yeah.
And so when they do this, can you see why a plus wouldn't make any sense at all?
Yeah.
Because I don't have them totally separate. I'm trying to build hundreds, tens, and ones that collectively make something.
I think what's so powerful, I'm jumping ahead, but I can't help but not say it, but I think what's so powerful about this strategy is then when you look at this strategy, you see this kid said 100 plus 0 plus 0. He thought about there's 0 hundreds in the other number, or
Yeah, yeah.
she. You see the ones, you see how this kid grouped the ones, and you see the tens, you see how this kid grouped the tens. So it's like it's the
Exact
same thinking,
images.
the same image, but one didn't require base 10 materials and the other one did. So it's just like a great one for connection. So that one's just like
Right.
a really powerful way of.
Right, and the interesting thing to me, look at this one. Here's why I'd put these two also with this one. Look how they've got the 20 first, and then the 50, and then, you know, trying to think about this 100 after the fact, because here's the 20 and the 3, okay, and the 50 and the 1, okay, then adds in that 9 and gets this and then puts the 100 on it at the end. So very deliberate about how this was built and how to think about tens and ones. So you're absolutely correct. There's some nice relationships here to be intentional, but this one also helps us see, you know, where they started,
Yeah, so 23.
you know, the 23. But I love that the other kids, and you want to make sure you at least have one, even if it's in the, even if it's in your embedded algorithms, deliberately picked 100 first, the 109.
Yeah.
Because then that gives us a commutative property that, you know, oh, here we go. 100, and then redo our tens, 100, right? So, absolutely. And in fact, I think I would, those three are a really nice collection to help us see the here, and here, and here, and probably even in that order, or here and here, either on top or below each other, and then this one out to the side as you think about how they
So you
image
can see the
both of
connection
those.
to both.
So just the placement on your chart helps
Yeah.
with that. Does that make sense? Okay. These kids will all pick up on that because they've done the 100. You know, they've done that, so these three kind of are exemplified